Hi students, welcome back to part 3, chapter 6, tissues. And under this part we are going to see animal tissues, which is the last topic in this chapter, tissues. And students, in previous videos we discussed about plant tissues, and under plant tissues we saw two types of plant tissues. One is meristematic tissue, another one is permanent tissue. Under meristematic tissue we discussed three types of meristem, that is apical meristem, intercalary meristem and lateral meristem. Under permanent tissues we discussed two types of permanent tissues, that is complex tissues and simple tissues. Now we are going to see animal tissues. There are four main types of animal tissues. They are epithelial tissues, connective tissues, muscular tissues and nervous tissues. First we will see about epithelial tissues. And students, epithelial tissues are the tissues which compose the epidermis of an animal, or protective layer or outer covering of an animal. Example, skin, or lining of the stomach, or lining of small intestine, lining of mouth, or lining of blood vessels, like that. It protects the group of tissues or organs or whole organisms. So the main function of epithelial tissues are protection. So these are called epithelial tissues. So this forms a lining which helps in covering and also provides protection. And there are many types of epithelial tissues, and these are tightly packed to perform the function of protection. And these are the types of epithelial tissues. So the types of epithelial tissues are simple squamous epithelium, stratified squamous epithelium, columnar epithelium, ciliated epithelium, cuboid epithelium and glandular epithelium. First we will see about simple squamous epithelium. This type of epithelium is present in the lining of blood vessels. Stratified squamous epithelium, this is present in the skin. So most of the skin of animals are made up of this stratified squamous epithelium, which is tightly packed to provide the function of protection. Next one is columnar epithelium. This will be like column, or it is a pillar like structure. It is a pillar like epithelium. Example, villi. Villi are the finger like projection which is present in the inner lining of the small intestine. So the function of this villi is absorption. So its structure is like column or pillar like, which is found in the lining of the small intestine. Next one is ciliated epithelial tissue. Cilia means a hair like structure, structure of cells which is present in the lining of the respiratory tract, which helps in trapping the dust particles, and it prevents the entry of dust particles into the respiratory tract. And next one is cuboidal epithelial tissue. This is present in the lining of the kidney. And the last one is glandular epithelial tissue. This is a folding epithelium, mostly present in the intestine. Small intestine and large intestine is a folded one. These folded intestine contains glandular epithelium, and this is about epithelial tissues. Next one is connective tissue. This connective tissue helps in connecting the parts of the body, and also it helps in transportation of material from one place to another place, and thus by connecting the parts of the body. And it is loosely packed. Example, best example for connective tissue is blood. So it is loosely packed because it is blood is composed of fluid part called plasma, which contains RBC, WBC and platelet cells, and so this is loosely packed, which flows in the liquid part. And connective tissue, they are blood, bone, cartilage areolar tissue and adipose tissue. Blood. So blood is one of the best connective tissue. This composed of RBC, WBC and platelets. RBC helps in transporting oxygen from lungs to cell, and also it consists of WBC, which helps in defense mechanism. Platelets helps in clotting. Blood plays an important role in transporting gases like oxygen, carbon dioxide, and also digested food material, and also it helps in transporting excretory product like urea to the kidney. Next one is bone. This bone is one of the connective tissue which forms the framework of the body, which is composed of many bones, which forms the whole structure of the body. Next one is areolar connective tissue. This is present between the skin and the muscle, skin outer layer and the muscle. This helps in connecting the skin and muscle. Last one is adipose tissue. This found below the skin where the excess fat is stored. So these are the types of connective tissues: blood, bone, cartilage, areolar and adipose tissue comes under connective tissue. And next one is muscular tissue. This muscular tissue helps in movement of an animal from one place to another place. This movement takes place by the contraction and relaxation of the muscles, and the types are voluntary muscles and involuntary muscles. Voluntary muscles are the muscles which moves by our conscious, or the movement takes place with our knowledge. Example, movement of the hand, movement of the leg. If we wish to move our hand, we'll move, or if we wish to walk, we will walk. So it takes place in the presence of our conscious or our knowledge. Voluntarily it takes place. That is called voluntary muscles. Involuntary muscles are the muscles which moves involuntarily without our conscious or without our knowledge. Example, cardiac muscles. Cardiac muscles are present in the heart. This functioning of the heart takes place involuntarily without our conscious. That is called involuntary muscles. So voluntary and involuntary muscles are the types of muscular tissue. And the last one is nervous tissue. Nervous tissues are the specialized tissue which plays an important role in transmitting the message from environment to the brain, and again message from the brain to the muscle to respond according to the environment. So this is a connected one. This is a network of tissues. Basic structural and functional unit of nervous system is called neurons. These neurons are network, or it is connected to one another to pass the information from environment to the brain. So the message is transferred from one neuron to another neuron. So this nervous tissue plays an important role in transmitting the message from environment to brain, and again it takes the message from the brain to the muscle. Accordingly, the muscles will respond to the environment. And the structure of a neuron is this. It consists of dendrites. This is cytoplasm, and this is nucleus. This one is called axon, and again it ends in axonal end like this. Again it is connected with another neurons like that. It helps in transmitting the message. See students, this is the model of neuron. This is the cell body which consists of cytoplasm, and cytoplasm consists of nucleus, and these are the dendrital dendrites, and this is the axon, and this is axonal end. So the message from the environment first reach the dendrites. dendrites, then to the cell body, and then to the axonal end, then to the axon, and finally it reaches the axonal end. Like that, the message moves from one neuron to another neuron, thus transmitting the message from environment to brain. So this is about animal tissues. Bye students.